back to the STPL. My name is Kix, joining me is Rapid. If you want to see the full game for that, I know it's just about to end, but if you want to see any of the highlights, they're all up on youtube.com/STPLTP. STPL TV. I had one job, a 6-letter word, all single letters, and I messed it up, Rapid. Whoops.
SMALO. I don't know, man. However many letters the alphabet you want to throw in there. Yeah, just, I think there's a YouTube link right down below the screen, right? No, there isn't. Kix, what are you doing?
Well, you know,
my killing esports one link at a time. I can't believe it.
Yeah, you
have.
There we go. I'm pasting it in the chat for now, but I do need to sort that. I didn't even realize. I thought I'd done that before, but we've got a cool set of games coming up for us here. We're going to be going into this fairly shortly. I'm just quickly making sure I've loaded the right team intros, but we're going to have FBW starting us off here. So as soon as this loads, we'll go into the intro and introduce our first team. Here we go, so many Marines coming in, but there's so many Zealots reinforcing. Do they have any upgrades? And goody GG's! He doesn't have enough splash, he didn't get any more Templar. And Roegi, with a very, very cool build, takes down Goody. Barracks. We've got Lings breaking into the natural as well. It looks like Lumire may have done a tense third game for Lumire, and a great ace match for him instead. I mean, the SUVs are going to clean up the Lings eventually, but still, he is just losing every single Marine. The barracks are actually going down now as well. And GG! Now going to have a Maelstrom and going to stop the Lurkers from burrowing. That's actually going to be a big, big move. The Lurker's going to burrow eventually though, and there isn't an Observer over here, but a nice Storm on top of all of those Lurkers going to take it down. And Jojo, unfortunately, we're too late as I said before. GG! More Lings coming in behind this, and Lurker even irradiated, but that's going to be too much. GG!
It's showtime.
Okay guys, so that was FBW. Now FBW, they've had a little bit of an interesting history when it comes to the STPL. Round 1 they started as FBW All-Stars. Their team a few of the players left, like Taitu went to Seoul. And they didn't have the best roster. We saw the fantastic game, which I've shown off many, many times, where Faust went in Evo first in a CVC. That was a fun game. But round 2, they merged with Team Liquid and become 9th team. That was kind of a play on the 8th team thing from the final Pro League of Brood War. And then in round 3, all of a sudden they came back. They added TT1 to their roster. And they were contending for the top spot. I mean, they beat so many good teams last round. They beat White Clan, they beat Bull as well. They were just a couple of games off of making their way into the STPL playoffs last round, almost beating out White Clan, who they did beat in their head-to-head as well. So kind of crazy job by them. And their opponent's going to be our second team of today. It's going to be DM. Against a lot of Storm. Let's zoom out ever so slightly to see what's going on both sides of this engagement, but that's a lot of Zealots. Look at how quickly they're absolutely decimating everything. And a nice Storm does go down to the back. Another nice Storm actually going down, but not really storming the clumps. There we go. There's a better Storm. Tech with...
Okay, well, everything here is going to die.
Yeah.
This is pretty fantasy GG right here. Well, yeah, you're pretty dead, my dude. GG.
Have enough energy for Maelstrom. Is he going to get it? Is he going to go for the Maelstrom? He does. The Maelstrom goes down. There's no Storm. There's a Storm now. And that is absolutely huge, killing all of the remaining units of Mitak. And this is going to be the push that ends the game. A Storm on the drones as well, just to add insult to injury. And GG, amigo. On the middle of the map, they actually ran back to defend. And the front has been busted. There's Zealots and DPs in the third base. I think this has done it. Kiri with the 3-pronged assault, gonna take down Medinho.
It's showtime.
Okay guys, so that was DM. Now looks like we're gonna skip the history because my transitions decided to go straight to today's match, but DM and FBW, DM came 4th in round 1. That was the best they've done so far. FBW haven't managed to make it out of the group stages as of yet. Overall, DM have only actually won 9 of their series, but they've been up against some very, very tough opponents. And FBW, that's 7 wins of series. That's after they came back in round 3 as FBW again. So FBW are on an absolute tear at the moment. Overall, I mean, we can see that they've not been doing all that great. I mean, 10 wins, 39 losses for the Protoss isn't the best record, but you know what? They're here once again to try and take some names here in round 4. They actually won their week 1 game, so they're already up 1-0 against all their opponents in the group and looking good to get into the playoffs so far of round 4.
Yeah, are we talking about round 4 playoffs already, Kicks? Pretty sure the season has just started.
It has, but you know what? The playoffs are always on the mind here. I mean, just to go through the rosters, we're going to start off with could possibly be a meme match. It's going to be a ZVT between Faust and Vulture on La Mancha. Going to go into a ZVP between Hinaru and White on Neo Medusa. A ZVP between Cadenzi and Tech on Holy World SE. And a PvZ between TT1 and Kimchi on New Bloody Ridge. So in case anyone's been keeping count, guys, of 8 games that we know about, not including any ace matches, 6 of them today have been ZVP. So hopefully you guys like ZVP. Hopefully there's no Terrans in the audience, because there's not been that many Terrans today. It's like we're back in round 1.
Why are you gonna do my boy Faust like that and say he's gonna play a meme match, Kicks? That could actually be by far the best game of today. Yeah. We're not doing key matchups, so I don't know.
Well, we just decided.
Oh, we are?
It's
Wait,
a key
what?
matchup now. Yeah, you just decided, man. That's it.
Stop it, Kicks. Just because you have the power of overlays doesn't mean you can use them to undermine my flawless logic.
Well, I'm hoping we're going to have a good game here. Now, I joke about Faust play, but he is a really, really good Zerg player. He's had some unfortunate mistakes in the STPL, which kind of became a meme for me, so that's where it's coming from. But Faust is a very good Zerg player. Vulture is a good Terran player for DM as well. So let's actually quickly have a look at their stats as we go back through the history of both of our players here. Now, Faust, unfortunately, he's on 1 win, 10 losses. Now, Faust, I mean, his skill does not really show too much so far in the STPL, but he is actually a very, very good Zerg player. One of the sort of mid to top level American Zergs. He kind of broke out into the scene the same time Tai 2 did, so, and they both, when they initially appeared, had similar styles. So Faust is definitely one of those people you need to watch out for. Now, he actually did beat Gypsy by lost to Gypsy by an Ultra, and he lost to Incomplete's Protoss in round 1. So that doesn't really count. This is a new round for Faust, a new STPL for him, as I keep saying. And he's going to be up here against DM's Vulture. Now, Vulture is actually on a 2-1 victory at the moment. Now, Vulture has actually not played against any Zergs so far, but he did actually win a ZBT as Chuckles, or against Chuckles even. That was a really, really weird game. So let's not go too much into that. As we introduce our first map of this series, it's going to be La Mancha. Okay guys, so looking at the map here, we do have La Mancha. Now, we're going to have players spawning in cross positions this time, so that's going to be a good indication that we could possibly have a little bit of a longer game. We've had some really fast games today, so hopefully this one's going to be a little bit longer. I'd say cross positions, this is actually quite good for Zerg. I mean, you've got multiple locations you can take your third base. Obviously, you're going to be wanting to go for one of the other mains. And this is where things get a little bit more difficult for Zerg, as all of a sudden both of them are quite close to the Terran opponent. So, it's going to come down to what build Faust does, really.
Well, Kicks. There's only one way to find out what build Faust is going to do.
Yeah, let's get into the game. It's game number 1 of FBW versus DM. It's Faust versus Vulture. Okay, starting us off here in the top right-hand position, we do have the blue Zerg fighting for FBW. It's Faust.
That's right, and on the other side of the map in the orange, as it always throws me off when I see a player named Vulture, because I automatically double check that they are the race that their unit says they are. Well, he's playing Terran, and it's Vulture. Okay. Because, I don't know, I was watching Toss Girl play the other day, and I'm like, okay, well, come on, can you just play Protoss? Come on. So, every time I see that, I always second guess myself. But no, everything is as it appears. And if you don't like ZVP, well, get your money's worth here, because this is the only one that you're going to get that isn't.
Yeah, huge thank you, Adele, for the Twitch Prime sub there, man. Does mean a hell of a lot. I do appreciate all the support. Every little helps. And just to say one thing, I know you were talking about people with names that are like of a unit of the race they play, or like the race they're not playing in some cases, like with Toss Girl. One of the things I'm going to do when we come Season 2 is I'm going to make sure people play with their clan tag, because the amount of times I nearly go 14 BSL and I'm like, no.
Yeah. No, I do the same thing. And actually, like, casting without player nameplates is hard mode.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't directly tied to all of the stats reporting up in the overlay, it would be fun to cast without that, because that is actually casting hard mode. So it's also hard for fans, because like they have to keep track of that too, and especially in things like like yellow versus orange PvP. It's like, well, you need all the help you can get.
Yeah, that's why the STPL and a lot of the older Brood War tournaments as well. I mean, even newer Brood War tournaments, they still have this overlay as well, but it's in the top left, you've got the player positions, names, and colour, so it makes it a little bit easier to follow on with the action, just in case you don't look at the stats menu for whatever reason. If I had my way, I am a dirty traditionalist. When it comes to Brood War, I'd turn it off, but I know a lot of people like it on, so I leave it on for you guys. But we've got a Barracks expand coming in here for Vulture. Looks like Faust is going to be doing his best to try and delay that for as long as possible, and doing a pretty good job so far.
You are correct. The biggest thing that we highlighted, I think, in our previous game, which was a different matchup, is the importance of denying scouting if you're going to go for an early aggressive build. And obviously, Hydra busts in ZVT are not necessarily super popular, given that siege tanks exist. But you can definitely have some struggles when it comes to getting up an early expansion. And with this being a one-rack expand and the barracks being very far away from the command center, sometimes you can get a little bit caught off guard if you get your scout sniped off early. But the SCV survives just long enough to see that it is a 3-hatch build. Yep. So at least we're not going to be having any 2-hatch mutaplay or anything like that.
Now, it is going to be 3-hatch before gas, so the layer is going to be a little bit later. Vulture's going to be happy and then know that there's going to be really late Zergling speed if it does come in. So things are looking pretty normal now. Faust is the kind of player that I wouldn't necessarily assume to go lair straight away. He could go for a Hydralisk Den. I know you said it's not super common, but this is Faust. He certainly does have interesting builds, so...
$10 to whoever links that Faust build clip. And these are imaginary internet esports dollars, by the way. But like,
which
you gotta get them while you can.
A lot of, like, he has all the
esports
that's true.
Money. Do I have piles? You think I sleep on a bed? No, made of entirely plush esports dollars.
Yeah, now, a big distinction here that Faust is going for is he's immediately going into double gas. Now, his first gas was a little bit later, so this does mean he can get Zergling speed and layer up quickly, but there's another big difference here. Faust is going for an Evo chamber, and it's not an Evo chamber first, but it is an Evo chamber before any other tech. He's actually going immediately into Carapace. Could this be Crazy Zerg coming in here for Faust a little bit later on?
So he went into second gas, and I'm like, okay, this looks a lot like maybe like 3-hatch Muta or something, and then we just took a turn for the worse, like Oregon Trail style. This is just we are going way up there.
We got dysentery? I can't say that word, but yeah, the joke failed. I'm sorry.
Oh. Well, I think the turn for the worse happened with like any of the ailments, like dysentery. What was the other one? Which, by the way, it's dysentery. There's an extra syllable there. I know you don't want to represent that, but like it's there. Or cholera, or I don't know, whatever you just throw some laudanum on it. That was my thing. I would just buy it and use it, and we're good. Somehow that fixed it. I don't know.
It's
Hydras.
Sure
medically...
Well,
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would guess, right? But why do you get
probably?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, anything that happens at this point is gonna be one of what you are so fondly calling a meme build. But I'm down to find out.
You know,
this
is kind of a throwback to another reference you made, but the Oregon Trail was all about heading west to discover new land. I mean, we're discovering a whole new land here. We're heading west in this game to see exactly what build Faust is going for. And I mean, we've got 4X coming in for Vulture, so he's going to be looking to go for a little bit of tech behind this. His academy and his barracks are done, so +1 attack already nearly finished as well. And Faust is going to take a very, very quick third base up in this top left corner.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to see what I guess is a 3-hatch lurker build. I'm guessing this is going to be... See, I would have expected like a... what should we call it? Maybe drop along with this, because you can drop along that expansion and drop right behind the natural mineral lines. That's pretty easy to do. But the downside of this is, why do we have the carapace? Is that so that you can like run the lurkers in and burrow them without them dying quickly?
I think it's preparing for later on. I think he's actually going to be going into a very quick hive after this. He's going for Overlord speed at the moment, I believe this is, and then it will likely be drop after, so he could do some lurker drops, but I think we're going to see a quick hive. He's building a lot of sunken colonies at the front here. He obviously doesn't have any lurkers over at his possible third base as of yet. There is a SCV blocking that too, so Vulture just going to be taking map control, but he's going to have to be very careful. Now we do see the first scan coming in, checking for the third base in the top middle. A little bit of a miss scan though, as he sent a Marine up there as well, so that's a little bit of a waste.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very, very sneaky little drone up there. So eventually we'll get something up there to take it out. There's also another sneaky drone down here, so something's happening. And yeah, there is that drop that I was talking about. We do have the lurkers morphing. Where are these lurkers morphing, though? That is the question. All right, there we go.
Yeah, the natural.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll run the hydras across and then morph them, but obviously if you show hydras right now, then the jig is up. And indeed he will. Oh, he actually sent the Ling across to pull the Marine out of position. What?
Oh,
there's no way that
clever.
was intentional.
I think it was.
What a mastermind.
Thing is,
damn.
Is Vulture going to see the first lurker? This Marine is actually pretty quick. He's going to stop. But Vulture has vision everywhere. There we go. He sees the lurkers. He sees the Lings as well. Is he going to be in position to defend this? Oh, he needs to burrow his lurkers. This is a lot of lurkers for this stage in the game, though, and it's only 2 medics.
Well, also this means that not only are there no lurkers at the third, there are no lurkers at the natural either. And he got 5 sunkens. Or 4 sunkens. Holy cow, 4 sunkens. Oh, sick burrow timing. Still misses everything. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, at least he manages to get the burrow down. The lurkers are not going to be engageable for now. +1 attack is done. +1 armor shouldn't be too far off. Looks like he delayed that a little bit to get his science facility up. Still, only on 4 barracks for him, so his bio count is quite low. Obviously, you do have the option of going up to 6 racks on 2 base. But this is going to be the big move by Faust. He's loading up 2 Overlords with Lurkers and he's flying straight into this natural. But the trouble is there's 2 turrets here already. There's a bunker coming up behind this as well. And Faust could be flying into a trap.
Well, there isn't anything in that bunker just yet, and obviously Faust doesn't know that. But if you can kill these turrets with Lurkers, I mean, oh, it turns around. Man, I was waiting for like the sick drop into double turret bunker play. Like that takes like the real big brain. But he didn't go for it. He instead is going to try to break the front. But look, there's already a bunker and a supply depot kind of blocking. This is like the advanced sunken you build versus the tank push. But looks like we're going to go into the main. There's a tank moving into position. We're going to drop.
Yeah, the problem is there's actually 2 Marines at this third base. They get a lot of the drones that transferred across. The Lings have cleared it up. But now Vulture knows that third base is there, and it's not in an easy place to defend.
All the bio just died to lurker spikes.
Oh, wow. And there's actually a 4 lurker drop in the main. It looped around, getting a lot of those SCVs. And Faust is suddenly turning this around.
Maybe we get to we should rewind at the end of all of this and watch all that bio die. Because that was actually just the entire... that was the entire... Okay, that was the entire army just died, and now all of the SCVs in the main died, and now everything else is dying because the Lings are running in and there's no Marines in that bunker. And we got a Zerg with 4 bases.
Yeah.
So...
This is just insane by Faust. He should be going into Hive behind this. Hive is already done. So he is going to be going for that crazy Zerg style behind this. Likely going to see an Ultra-Risk Cavern coming up behind. But I mean, the Lurkers in the main are still there. And Vulture finally cleans them up. He's actually not lost that much supply, all things considered. But when Faust is up supply against a Terran player at this stage of the game, he is going to be feeling very, very good. And there's that Ultra Cavern.
Yeah, but more importantly, the bio count's so low that Vulture can't really do anything. He has a Vessel out, so maybe Lurkers will be a little bit less effective. But you still have those 2 Overlords. You just drop them right back in from the top. So, also there's an extra Siege tank just kind of chilling out there, so that's going to die. So here comes Vulture. He's going to try to push out here. Maybe he takes out these advanced Lings, but how does he break high ground? Or even fight any of this? I don't know, man. Here we go.
Yeah, the only thing you can realistically do is pull the tanks back and just try and get good engagements on these Lurkers. But oh, the bio actually pulling back into a lot of spines.
And there's actually still nothing in that bunker, by the way. So even with the D-Matrix to kind of, you know, stop and hold at this point, I don't know how long you're going to be able to hold this. Because, A, you just lost all of your bio again. Well, almost all of it. And... you haven't done any damage to the Zerg player. Like, this is a Zerg on 4 bases with power drones. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, things are not looking too good here for Vulture. He's got a decent tank count. He hasn't lost too many, so he is going to be able to push the Lurkers back for now. But there's another Overlord coming in with yet another Lurker into the main. And the more damage Vulture takes, the harder this becomes. And the Lurkers are actually on top of the barracks now. And this is just getting worse and worse.
Yes, this is in fact quite bad. Also, if either one of those Overlords has gotten taken out earlier, then this just like doesn't happen. So, kudos for bringing the exact amount of Overlords you knew you needed. And maybe the exact amount of Lurkers. I mean, he hasn't actually remade that many Lurkers because he's been putting everything into getting all this crazy Ultra Tech out. We already have, actually we don't have the chitinous plating, but speed's almost done. And I don't even know if we need Ultras at this point. You just keep building Lurkers, man. These things are paying off.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to do just that. Another 2 Lurkers getting dropped into the main here. It's getting a little bit harder as he goes forward here with the Lurkers, but every single time an Overlord goes down, 2 Lurkers get in here. Some say that when a Lurker burrows, an Overlord grows its wings. Things are not looking too good here for Vulture, but he is cleaning stuff up. Faust is still throwing away a lot of units, and Vulture's bio count is eventually going up. He's getting 2-2 upgrades, or at least 2-1 for the time being. His tank count continues to grow, and he's not actually lost any of his vessels yet, so things looking good. And oh, this is actually a double Lurker drop that's getting caught off guard in the middle of the map.
Uh-oh, well this is what should have happened earlier, but
yeah.
I love watching tanks chase Overlords across the map. I'm like, well...
Oh no!
Oh no, he's gonna lose all the tanks! No! All right, he lost one tank, and one of them is severely bruised. But this is the desperation move from Vulture to try to take this base. It is within striking range of the fourth base from Faust. He has not gone up to the upper left to try to take
Oh my God.
that base.
The problem is all of his army's going up there, and look at the number of ultras and lings moving forward. He's got 2 bunkers, both of them completely empty, and there's going to be absolutely nothing Vulture has back here to defend. GG! And Faust takes down Vulture in game number 1.
Wow, that was an insta GG there. And you're right, the army was completely out of position. So like, what are you gonna do? You have to try to take a third base at that point. Like, you've taken massive damage, and like, it sucks, but you just gotta try. Maybe you leave a little bit more advanced scouting out on the map, like throw a marine here or there and try to figure out when that big push is coming. But even if the army had been in position, I mean, that push is still going to do a lot of damage with that ultra speed. And, yeah, super scary.
Yeah, so
I think we were going to rewind for a second.
We are. So I quickly loaded up well, I didn't load up the replay. I rewound in the replay. That's one of the features they added in StarCraft Remastered. One of the best ones they added, actually. Let's have a quick look at the game. This is the moment when all of a sudden Vulture's army evaporated. Now, I'm actually going to put this on faster, so we get to see this in slow motion. There's one of those Lurker Spines. Just 2 Lurker Spines killed the majority of that army. That's actually insane.
Yeah, and then he goes up and he picks off his tank, and well, maybe he doesn't pick off the tank, but the idea is, oh wow, yeah, he actually does get the tank. Okay, yeah, that was just total tragedy. And at the exact same time, he gets double Lurker or quadruple Lurker dropped in his main. So
yeah, that was a well-played game by Faust. A well-deserved win there as well. It wasn't a beam match. I know I was joking around at the beginning, but that was a really well-played game by Faust.
Yeah, no, it was a little bit memey. I don't know if I see too much 3-hatch Lurker these days, but it was very well played for sure. Yeah. And sometimes, I mean, all you got to do is catch your Terran opponent off guard. Although I will say, I think it was KSL 1 Finals Game 3, Jaedong was left 3 Lurkers sitting out there, and he got those caught off guard. So it happens both ways. There's karma on both sides, but this time, definitely on Faust's side as he picks up a Game 1 win.
Yeah, so we're going to get into game number 2 when we load up the second replay just after this short break. See you guys soon. Hello guys and welcome back to the STPL. We are here watching FBW versus DM. We had a pretty sick match between Faust and Vulture to start us off there, with Faust winning game number 1, giving FBW their first win in week number 2. Can the string of luck carry on for FBW here? Well, not luck, but their string of wins.
Can they do the winning thing again? Yeah, I would say so. I would say that coming up next, we're kind of hitting the heart of FBW's roster. Don't want to. Well, let's go ahead and spoil the players because I'm just really looking forward to, you know, like we talk about like Faust, maybe his meme builds. Hirmu's got some Hirmu. There we go. He's got some meme builds of his own. Yeah. So let's not forget. What did he do? I think he killed TT1 on Plasma. Maybe it wasn't TT1. Maybe it was somebody else. But he did this like lurker. It
was first on Coliseum 2. Oh no, this was a different game. Against first on Coliseum 2, he did this crazy thing where he just pushed with lurkers straight away. I know what game you're talking about, but I don't think that was Hirmu on Plasma that did that. With someone else. But still, I mean, Hirmu's history: 6 wins, 12 losses, 33% win ratio. Not the best in the STPL, certainly not the worst, and he's always out here leading from the front as captain of FBW here in round 3 and 4. And he's played against some really strong opponents, so just the fact he beat first from white is a really big win for him. His ZVP certainly hasn't been his best matchup, but once again he's got a 3rd win ratio in that as well. So Hirmu likes to do something in some things in thirds here. So let's see if he can win in the second game. Damn, that pun didn't work as well as hoping it would do. But his opponent going to be the captain of DM, White himself. He's been in the chat for a while, so hopefully he's still around. He's a relatively good player for DM, leading from the front as well. Obviously he has got a little bit better of a win ratio here than Hirmu does. He actually beat Mitak Old Man Slum, who's actually, I believe, no, I was thinking he was jealous, but that was Sad Old Man. And he beat Dio as well, captain of Bowl. So it's kind of funny, whenever I see White play, he's always playing against one of the other captains for some reason.
I had never put those stats together, Kicks. No human on the planet would ever have thought of that except you. You've had an original thought, one that's never been thought before. Congratulations, Kicks.
Cool. That's what I live for, man. This is why I've got all these weird stats. But let's get into game number 2 here, and let's introduce our map with the overview. Okay guys, so we're heading in to map number 2 here. It's going to be on Neo Medusa. Now, Neo Medusa, relatively old map, went through a little bit in the sort of the first match of today. Man, my brain is not working right now. But we've got both our players spawning in these top 2 positions. We're going to have Hirmu over here in the top right. So, oh sorry, Hirmu's in the top left even. And I mean, the thing with Hirmu here is he's going to be able to take a very quick 3rd base if he wants to. It is a mineral only, so one of the things I've seen a lot of Zergs do on this map is go for a 3-hatch Hydra build, because you don't need 3 gas to do that. But you also have the option of trying to split the map by going for one of the other expansions, the natural expansion, the only other one on the map on this 3-player map, and going for a lot of Sunken. So, going to be cool to see how Hirmu is going to play this out. White has a few options himself as well. Very easy wall to make at the front. He also has the option of this 3rd base in the back. And when you get more minerals, you get more zealots, you get more gateways. And more importantly, you get a bigger force to move out into this very big center of the map and try and take your 3rd gas here at that bottom right base.
That is true. More things mean more of more things, but specifically on this map, I actually just really like watching games play out on this map. I'm glad they added it to the ladder map pools we were talking about earlier, and I just always am a big fan of 3-player maps because anything to get away from the fighting spirit. I take this base and then this base, and no long macro games allowed on my maps.
Okay, well, hopefully we'll have a decent long game here. We've had some very, very quick games. I think Vulture versus Faust was the longest we've had, and that was only about 15 minutes. So let's get into game number 2 here on Neo Medusa. It's Hinamu versus White, Clash of the Captains on week 2. Okay, spawning us off in this top left-hand position, we do have the Peach Zerg fighting for FBW. It's their captain, Hinamu.
That was definitely a little bit more cow than finish, but we'll let it slide here. I know if Hiramu were watching, he'd give you an E for effort. Anyway, his opponent on the other side is playing Protoss, is DM White.
I was trying to think of a cool comeback, but I can't think of anything. So
here's what always happens for me. Like I'll hear like a real zinger, and I sit there, I'm just like, damn, I got nothing to say.
Yeah.
I go to bed, like 3 hours into like a solid night's sleep. I'll wake up and well, there's a pretty high ceiling here, but if there was like bunk beds, I would wake up and hit my head and be like, I think of the exact thing that I should have said there at like 3 a.m. that night, and I'm just like, damn, why couldn't I say that right there? Because I don't know.
Is that what happened when you said you're good with your mouth in the GSL cast? That was a good
if
one.
I had a nickel for every time I've said that, I'd have 1 nickel. Anyway, no, that's not what happened there. I assure you, there's a good reason, which will remain a mystery.
I remember watching that cast because you did a really, really good job in that cast, by the way. It's a shame Fancy didn't make out of his GSL group. Spoilers, sorry. But yeah, that was a cool day of GSL, so good job there, man. And good job here today as well, because we've had some pretty sick games so far. We've actually got a pull first here from Hinamu, and not opting to go for a very super quick hatch. He actually went for a 12 pull into a 12 hatch here, and his opponent going to go for a Forge Fast Expand as well. Now, I mean, this is quite possibly the most normal thing we could ever see.
Well, yeah, and also we're kind of getting back into the swing of our PvZ games to keep in trend with tonight, or in keeping with the trend of tonight. There we go. Of just non-stop ZVPs. So yes, we're gonna see another Forge Fast Expand. I think there was one day, or maybe it was BSL, where we just saw non-stop gateway expands like every single game, and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I guess we're going with it. I think it was like STPL last week, I guess, but now it's Forge Fast Expands. I'll never be able to keep up with I guess how the winds of change blow, but yeah, here we go.
It's definitely a stylistic choice. Like, you'll see players like DeWalt will more than likely, especially Bonith, will always go for gateway expand, whereas DeWalt plays a little bit more conservative. Like we saw him today on New Bloody Ridge, went for that Forge Fast Expand against Eriador. No, it was on Neo Medusa. He went for it against Eriador. Now, obviously, the map does come into it a little bit as well. There's many factors on what to go for. I mean, the Forge Fast Expand is definitely a little bit safer, but you don't get that pressure out as early. You can't force out as many lings. Then the ironic thing about that is you also need more cannons when you do that, because they have more lings early. So unless you've got like godlike micro like Bonith does, and you can kill infinity lings with one zealot, it makes it a little bit more difficult, which I think is why we see Forge Fast Expand a little bit more often.
Yeah, and as you should, right? I'm a big fan of kind of what TT1 is doing with these just set your rally point in the enemy base with a gateway opening. And getting an expand behind that while being aggressive. It kind of feels like you're doing everything all at once. But difficult to pull off, and you got to keep your stuff alive. So
Yeah.
in the end, yeah, this is Forge Expand. We don't see that double cannon before Nexus, like ultra safe style that DeWalt was playing. This is kind of the just stock standard way to do this. And see how long White can keep his probe alive. I would say 5 minutes is like the Bisu timer. It's like if you can keep your probe alive beyond that, then damn, you're just really getting all the info. And it really can delay a lot of like surprise Zerg tech that they want to throw down.
Yeah, because when you've got a worker in your opponent's base, this is why it's so important for Terrans as well. Looks like the probe does get left to unfortunately go down. He did send his vision over to his main base to send these couple of zealots. This is kind of the next stage of this kind of scouting from White here. He's going to be able to send these zealots and do a little bit of damage to the Zerglings, maybe get 1 or 2 drones if he can. Just trying to deny as much information as possible is kind of one of the most important things here for Zergs. Because suddenly you can't go for this like massive Hydra Bust because they know it's coming. But this is so many lings. These zealots are very, very lucky to get into the base. They get to see this fire.
How many lings do you need to stop 2 zealots? And I guess the answer is like, I don't know, another control group. But it is going to kill those zealots before they actually do anything. So, I mean, congratulations, you scouted a Spire. Surprise, if Zerg wants to tech. But yeah, you do know that you're not being like Hydra all in at that, or like just super early Hydra all in. And I think you would know that before then, so it's not like it's a super big mystery. But now is sort of the one window that Zerg has to be a...
Hold on, there's only 1 cannon. There's a lot of lings, they have speed.
Oh no.
And the only zealots leaving the base. It's not going to happen again, is it, Rapid? It can't.
Are we going to see another 1 cannon Protoss die to Zerg aggression? Honestly, yeah, if he had scouted with that zealot and seen that there were going to be more Hydras, then yeah, he would have thrown down cannons. So it's not like he's doing this ignorantly.
Yeah, it's just there's a hole in his wall right now, and he's only got it's blocked now, so we're fine. Maybe if we don't say anything, White won't realize and won't attack. Hero even. But
he doesn't know.
White does get a good scout off, sees the 5th hatchery, sees the Hydro extend, saw the 3rd base as well, so he knows exactly what's going on here. He saw the evolution chamber too, so White has had really good information this entire game so far.
Yeah, there's not supposed to be a probe in your base at 6 or 7 minutes. Like, yeah, you should have gotten rid of that one. But second probe does get the scout off, and he's going to actually just go around and see everything. So this means that as Protoss, you know how many cannons you need. You know what's coming. Realistically, you're going to see the Hydra and the extra the Hydra den, the extra hatcheries, and you're going to know that basically the game at this point is pretty well figured out. And as a Zerg player, you don't have that luxury. You can't get into the base as long as there's not a hole in the wall. And you can't get overlords in to scout unless you want to sack them.
Yeah. Now, the crazy thing for me this game, now Hero has actually got a lot of Scourge to deal with these, but White had such good scouting information with his probes, he didn't actually need to send his first Corsair anywhere. So the Corsairs have only just now been revealed. I mean, Hero kind of did just blind build Scourge anyway, because he was kind of expecting the Corsairs to come in. But that's a massive deal, because if this was maybe a different Zerg player, if Hinru wasn't already going for Spire, all of a sudden 3 Corsairs turn up at your base and they kill all of your Overlords, and then you're really, really far behind.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely... It feels bad to just like leave chunks of Hydras like back home to defend. Or remember to consistently rally your overlords to one safe space. But, I mean, yeah, this is exactly what you're talking about. If those Hydras had not been there, would have been like 5 dead overlords. So, but as is, both players are just like totally solid on both sides. So the game continues. Although I would say that there's this magical moment that it has to happen when White busts out for a 3rd base with Storm. And he is starting to get towards that.
Yeah,
he's going to do the preemptive... Yeah, he's going to do the preemptive Manlot attack with speed and +1. And, I mean, this is just quite a few Zealots kicks.
It is, and there is good SimCity going on at the 3rd base, but there's only 3 Hydras over here. 4. Sorry, there's actually 1 hidden behind the mineral line. I mean, there's a lot of Hydras coming in from the front, from behind even, but he could still do a decent amount of damage with this.
There's good SimCity, but there's no Sunkens here. I think this is going to hit right when these Hydras are way out of position. Let's see how good the drone drills are attacking is. It looks like actually he's dealing with these Zealots pretty well, unless all the drones explode here. And I think they might just do.
Yeah, but the Zealots at the back have been cleaned up. There's more Zealots rallied in here. The Hydra's taking a lot of damage, and White is doing a fantastic job with this attack. Hero actually target fired one of his own Hydras there, I think.
Yeah, the Overlord's coming in clutch. Just kidding,
all
not
this
at
up.
all. Everything is going to die at this third base. That's crazy. GG. 12 Zealots and a Dream Kicks.
That's all you need, man. That's all Protoss needs. Like, when you've got +1 attack and you've got speed, all of a sudden Zealots turn into this insane fighting force. And that I can't believe that White did that, but that's going to tie us up 1-1.
You know, something tells me deep down in my little brain that there exists these like magical timings in Brood War, right? Like we've had 20 years of this game. People are still figuring out new things. And I'm sure that, you know, if players got good enough at kind of recognizing like exactly where you were in a game, like if this were a game of like perfect information, right?
Yeah.
People would figure out these crazy like exactitudes that would just really kind of blow people's minds. And I'm not saying that's one of them. Obviously, having all of the Hydras up at the natural when your third base is way far away, you know, that sucks. And 12 Zealots is just very good.
Yeah.
Kudos to White for finding just that magic moment to hit the third and kill it.
Yeah, I mean, great job. We're going to be back with game number 3 when we get back just after this. See you guys very soon. Okay guys, welcome back to the STPL. I'm Kix, joining me is Rap, and we're here for game number 3 of the STPL here. We're watching FBW versus DM. DM White, their captain, just managed to not clutch, he managed to kind of just zealot his way into a tie-break situation here. Well, not a tie-break situation, but we're 1-1 in a best of 5.
Yeah, that's right. This is a little bit more even than our first series, which was a 4-0 for IRK. And I'm really happy to see DM performing so well. I think, you know, White, obviously very strong player on their lineup, kind of hit that super strong timing against Hirmu, who's not the best performing player on FBW, but certainly is one of their better players. But I do think that as the games go on, especially as we hit games 3 and 4, it is going to be much more difficult for DM to kind of find that magic timing, and especially to see how long or how strong their roster is going to hold up here. So I don't know what to expect, but I would say that FBW, and especially since sort of reforming or rebranding or whatever, has looked very strong. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens in game 3.
I mean, starting us off here, we're going to have Cadenzi. Cadenzi did play for Red in round 2. Didn't play too many games for them, though. She did sort of defect, I guess, over to FBW's team for the start of round 4. She's got a 66% win rate overall. She's had pretty good games versus Protoss overall. She beat V1, she beat G5, she lost to Yeti, but she beat Zoz and Headmaster as well. So very good win record for her against Protoss. I mean, CVP, before she went to Korea, I would say it wasn't her best matchup, but since she's been in Korea, like, CVP is definitely really, really good now. So cool to see her improve, and her opponent gonna be over here for DM. It's the person in round 1 I called the ultimate ace player, Tech. Now Tech did have a little bit of a rough round 2 and 3, but he's back in round 4 to see, or to show that he still has it here. He's actually got a fairly decent win ratio against Zerg, so things shouldn't be too bad for him.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. For Tech, I don't hate the stats, but certainly they don't tell the entire story. Because obviously, when you're 5 and 3 against your opponent's race, your win ratio doesn't actually matter. So sick. But the point is that he is still on a hot streak of wins against Zerg players. So maybe that'll continue. We'll see. And hey, beating Ariador is still very strong.
Yeah, so let's introduce our third map of today. You may have seen it before, but it's going to be Holy World SE. Okay, well, that bugged a little bit, so we didn't see the whole thing, but we're going to be having a look at our third map here. It's going to be Holy World SE. We've had 3 ZVPs on here already. It's 4 after today already, but looks like we do have our Zerg players getting a little bit, not messed up, but I mean, if we look at the last PvZ we saw on here, which was PRL versus Dark, that was a very interesting game. I mean, we saw scouts, we saw queens, we saw like everything in the ZVP in that game. So I don't think we're going to have a sort of rematch of that. I definitely think that was kind of a one-off, a 1 in a million game, but should be cool. Let's just quickly go through the map, kind of. Obviously you didn't get to see the whole thing, but 4 spawns, neutral command center in the middle that I'm still praying that someone infests it. Now, if anyone's going to do it for me, I believe in Zoe. I think Zoe is going to be the one to infest the command center. I want this. I've been wanting it since I put this map in the pool. Please, please prove me right.
Yeah, every Zerg player has a moral obligation to try at least to infest this command center in the middle. And maybe we'll have to like put a bounty on their head, just like, you win this many imaginary esports dollars if you do that, because it needs to happen at some point between now and the end of round 4. So just putting that out there if you're a Zerg player and you're watching, and that's your job. So let's get into the game and find out. I love it. Thanks, Kix.
Yeah, it's okay. Let's get into game number 3. It's Cadenzi versus Tech here on Holy World SE. Okay, spawning us over here in the bottom right hand position, we do have the purple Zerg fighting for Team FBW. It's Cadenzi.
And on the other side of Holy World SE, spawning in the, well, I guess yellow, this is our Protoss player. Q8D, otherwise known as Tech.
Yeah.
It's such a cool little guy. Look, he's got his backwards hat on and everything.
Oh my god, is that what that is?
Yeah.
I have never noticed that
It's
before.
big eyes, big smile, backwards hat.
Oh my god. How have I never noticed? Oh no, why did I admit to that? I should have stayed ignorant. Now, oh
You
no.
can't unsee it.
I'm never gonna be able to unsee that now. I've always wondered why he used Q8D as his username,
Yeah.
and now I finally get it. Oh my god.
Yeah. Wait until Kix types a less than 3 on his keyboard and figures that out.
I do that all the time, right? That's one of the ones I know. For this.
Oh, okay. I'm just checking, Kix. There's no guarantees here after you don't know Q8D.
Oh no. How can I ever show myself on stream again? We got a spawning full first coming from Cadenzi on 9. Well, it's an overpool actually, so there we go. Run-of-the-mill build for Cadenzi. And we have a gateway in the main attack.
Gateway in the main. I'm always like super scared of getting contained on low ground mains. So, and this isn't like the hardest wall to make at the natural. So, one of the things about this map is we said about I forget what the other map in the map pool is, but yeah, if you wall at the natural, you can actually take the mineral only behind that as a third. Getting thirds versus strong. Yeah, Neo Medusa. But yeah, third bases are hard for Protoss, and yeah, you want to gas, but it's not bad to have that for a freebie after you take your natural.
So looks like Cadenzi going to be going for an expansion behind this. Obviously, the overpull those Lings a little bit quicker, going to help deal with this early Zealot coming her way. The tech looks like he's going to be going for one base tech here. Now, I did make this joke so many times in round 1. A lot of the games I'd expect him to go for like this crazy macro play, he'd just tech up really quickly. So I always said that was where he got his name from. But now all I can think of is him wearing like this backwards cap, and I just... Oh no.
I mean, if you use that emoji, then you have to actually wear the backwards cap, right? You also have to drink a ton of coffee so your eyes are really big like the 8. And you also have to keep that cheesy, smiling, full-toothed grin the entire time you play. So, I mean, that's probably how he picked the ID, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Tech is going to be coming up against a good number of Lings here, but Tech is already defending his main ramp. But still, this is going to be a good number of Zerglings, and with only one Zealot on the ramp, things could get a little bit hairy here. It looks like he is going to have to pull back, and if he pulls back into this main, all of a sudden his probes could be under a lot of stress, but looks like with these two Zealots, he may be able to hold this off. But the important thing is Cadenzi gets a full scout here as well.
Ooh, and a bonus probe. Okay. I think they're yeah. So yeah, keeping these Lings alive in the main. Just keep. Oh wow, more and more getting in. Gotta stem the tide here. Looks like no more probes, but keeping these Lings alive super annoying. So you gotta keep on that with the Zealots, and you also have to kind of wait if you're waiting to throw down something super secret in the main, which is currently the only place there are pylons to do that.
Yeah.
So.
To be honest, I think any sort of secret has already been kind of shown at this point, because Cadenzi knows there's no hidden pylons. She's pretty good at counting the pylons now, most Zerg players are. Cadenzi knows that there's a Stargate off of one base, so he knows that she's going to have to get Hydras pretty quickly. I mean, the first Corsair should be able to get a couple of Overlords, because the Hydralisk Den has only just finished, so that is something. But Tech, if he is going for DTs or anything, I almost feel like he's delayed it too much.
Oh yeah, for sure by now. I think the only thing that you could have maybe not seen is... Actually, no, never mind. Everything was seen, and so now, where do you go? I think you just try to expand, because that's the only not secret thing that you can do. It's just like, okay, well...
And Tech hadn't actually scouted yet, so he's checking all the other mains first.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
he's got Corsairs. How do you walk to the wrong main? Okay, never mind. But he is gonna finally scout. This is the world's biggest. This is like a You know how when they're searching for people who are lost in the woods, they all spread out and they make that line? That's kind
Yeah.
of the way he was scouting. He was searching for the Zerg player lost in the woods, but he found it. And now is finally going to be able to put on some double quotes pressure, which means that he sees it and walks away.
Yeah, I mean
And
that's all
flies
you
away.
can that's all you can really do. I mean, he's only technically got 3 zealots and a dragoon, and I mean
Yeah.
when you get to like 12 zealots, as we saw in the last game, they can kill a Protoss player, a Zerg player even. They can also kill a Protoss player. Let's not get that wrong. But we've got Citadel coming up, Forge coming up as well. The Forge at this point is kind of a necessity because you've kind of hit that stage in the game where, hey, there could be a lot of Hydras coming my way, and we're gonna see Tech kind of just milling about in the middle of the map, seeing if he can do any damage whatsoever with these Corsairs, and just try to push Zoe back as far as possible.
Yeah, still no third hatchery, or well, third base rather. It is 3 hatched, but still waiting to figure out exactly what the tech path is going to be. Okay, finally there's a Spire on the way. A little bit later than at least I'm used to, but maybe I'm totally off on that. And there's that Citadel, so you got to be a little bit worried. I'm waiting for this sneaky Overlord on the left-hand side of the map to decide to poke into the
the
main
Ling
for like a
gets
late
in?
surprise scout. Wait, no way!
How did
Oh
that
my-
Ling get by? Oh, that's insane. That's another perfect scout by Canenti here. Gonna see the Templar Archives coming in. I mean, yeah, this is kind of standard for PvZ these days, but Corsair Reaver's actually pretty good on this map, so we're not going to see that, unfortunately, but I mean, with DTs possibly coming in, Archon's High Templar as well, we're going to have Storm finishing up pretty soon. We've still got a chance of seeing quite a long game here, because there are those 2 sort of additional bases behind this natural here for Tech.
Oh, you mean, okay, well, one of them's behind, one of them is kind of vulnerable on the mineral side, so I don't really count that one as a free base, because it takes
Yeah.
like 1 Hydra to shut that down, but you're right, there are other bases to take, for sure. It feels like this game is playing out a little bit more slowly than I would have expected, or at least without any aggression, because like, at this point, I'm waiting for 12 Zealots to run across the map, right?
Yeah.
But obviously that's not something that we're going to see here. We're just going to kind of get to the next phase where it's Scythe Storm versus Mass Hydras, and that should look a lot more standard than our previous games.
Yeah, no, we've got the first DT out here. That is going to be able to clean up the Lings out the front of his base. Now, obviously, if you don't know this about Brood War, when a DT kills a unit, it doesn't make a sound if it dies in 1 hit, so it looks like Cadenti is going to be sending those Lings in, just getting a little bit of scouting information. She will see this... Okay, I don't know how that became a tongue twister, but she will see the shimmer of the DT moving towards her base. But the thing is, Cadenti's pretty much tight at the front here, so there's not going to be any DT damage. There's no shuttle to drop it into the main either, so this DT is more going to act as kind of like a scout at this point.
Yeah, so getting the Corsair Scouts earlier and now getting the DT Scouts going to tell you pretty much everything that you need to know. I mean, there's no third base for Zerg. I mean, there's the mineral only in the back, but Zerg really needs gas at this point.
Yeah.
When you're starting to try to slingshot to the next phase of the game, you gotta get a ton of gas. And expanding to a mineral only here, like, I guess it counts as a third base, but like, you gotta go get it somewhere else. But the only 2 near the only 2 close gas bases are exposed on the mineral side, so that's why you see Tech scouting out with a probe. He's like, well, all I need to do is build. Actually,
Oh, is he gonna
try to glitch a DT through here? Oh my god,
that'd
what
be
a
so
badass!
sick. This isn't actually that difficult to do. It's one of the kind of
No.
easier tricks in Brood War, so hopefully he can make this work. It's still a little bit finicky, especially from that mineral, a little bit harder to do. Probably better to do it a little bit lower, but there's multiple ways you can do this. You can do this with a building pylon, you can do it by stopping a unit, but the problem is, while he's doing this, all of a sudden Cadenti's bursting out with a lot of Hydras into the middle of the map, and Tech is still having trouble getting this DT through.
Oh,
Oh, the
I
probe
thought it was really
glitched.
close there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember watching Jadong try to glitch Ling through an unglitchable.
Oh, that was on Third World, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, he
that
was trying to do it on Third World, and it never worked. He tried it like 12 times before he figured out it was impossible. And I'm like, dude, you gotta practice that, my dude. Anyway, That's kind of like this, where you just watch. I love the probe watch or the drone watching that. It dies in one hit, and so yeah, the jig is up. But anyway, that was a good hold up by Tech behind that anyway. So you got some time to buy. He's gonna try it again. This better work eventually.
Oh!
Oh, he got it! No! No, he's
It-
gonna try it one more time. One more time. You gotta get it. You gotta get it.
Oh, no, the probe!
goes through.
He needs to do it
Dude.
from this bottom
Look
middle
at me.
middle.
Oh my
this
god.
poor DT.
I am robbed. Oh, so painful.
Don't worry, the DT lives. He's gonna come back another day. It's all good.
Dude,
No.
there's six. Yeah, there's 6 Corsairs over here. They could pop a couple Overlords easily right up here.
You know what
They're gonna
Cadenzie's
go for
doing?
it.
She wants more minerals. Gotta get all those minerals, but Tech needs to be careful with these Corsairs. He can't afford to lose too many. Gets out with 1 on a single HP, or 2 HP even. And that's gonna be another dead Overlord.
Yeah, freebie Overlord. This is a pretty big supply block, right? That's 77 out of 61 with 1 just now popping. So, especially with drop being upgraded, you take out all the
Infest!
Overlords you can.
So he did it!
No way, no, no, you didn't.
Yes!
Did oh my god, what a hero.
What a
The
boss.
true. Now there's round 2 of this there's a bonus round kicks, right?
You gotta get dropped.
You complete the objective, but then you load the essentially StarCraft 1 Banelings into an Overlord and then drop them on top of the Zealots. Everything explodes. Oh my god. Alright. Oh
And
my god.
you know what, Rapid? You know what? I've said this before, but like obviously Infested Terrans, there's no real counter from the Protoss perspective.
Yeah.
But you know the value? You infest this command center, you get access to this brand new unit, and the Queen lives. It just comes back out. That's value.
Like you can actually use the Queen for things, but like there are neutral things you can parasite, etc., etc. But I don't know if the Infested Terrans are even going to be like necessary at this point. Oh, losing free Corsairs. Thanks for the donation. But where are my Infested Terrans? There we are.
Is. Look at this guy. Look how cool they look. It's just amazing. You don't often get to see them. The big thing I don't understand, I'm actually speechless at finally getting to see an Infested Terran on this map. Oh my god, Tech actually dropped the DT behind the minerals, so that DT did come back, and he's coming back for a vengeance. He knows there's no Overlord down here.
Yeah.
So this DT is going to get all of these drones.
Well, there are Overlords coming over, so I guess, I don't know, the Shimmer was obvious or something, but he's going to get quite a few of them, and he actually might be even able to kill the Hydra, but he's just going to actually kill every single drone here. So damn, that's sucks, but let's see if... No!
The Infested Terran went off and I just missed it. I'm going to have to rewind. Oh no, lift the command center. Lift the command center before it burns. You can't do this.
One job.
Wait, you can lift it. I'm sure you can. I'm fairly certain you can move it. Someone's done that to my natural command center before. So you can definitely do it, but they did an ensnare did go down, so that's something. But a lot of Zealots suddenly popping out on the map. It's going to be Zealots versus Hydra this year. A good storm on those Hydras.
That storm, oh, so good. And I think there's another one down here as well. But either way, this is actually a ton of Hydras, so there should actually be a reasonable hold here. Downside is there's 3 drones mining at the 3rd, so this is super important to hold.
Problem is, Tech needs to expand, and it almost, well, he does know about the back bases. He's gonna take a 3rd base here. Now, he did actually glitch his probe through with a pylon rather than just running it through his own base, so that's the more roundabout way of getting there, but I guess it does allow him to build cannons there too, so that would be pretty good.
Losing that High Templar with a storm inside really, really hurts, because there's no storms behind this. I don't think he has a High Templar with a storm here. Yeah, no more storms, and that's a ton of Hydras. Ooh, scary, but I mean, that's a lot of cannons and dragoons too.
Yep, I mean, we've got that Queen coming back in. It can Parasite, and there's nothing that Protoss can do against Parasite. Unlike Terran, they don't have anything like Restoration, so all of a sudden you have a unit that's forever visible. That ensnare was a little bit unnecessary, but that's one dead Corsair.
You gotta show it who's boss. Okay, well, you know, maybe the Queen was a little bit, you know, maybe there's some turbulence. The Queen got a little bit sick and just had to you know, when you're a little bit upset, sometimes you gotta make that known. Oh, trying to snipe the High Templar, gets it again. Why are these High Templar in the front? No, no storms. What a tragedy.
Yeah, and this is when things get a little bit risky. You don't have any units here. Aztec, the Hydra's pushing on forward Dragoons. Not very good against Hydras in this kind of number. This is why you need those storms. A DT coming out though. He actually, or Zoe actually ensnares it. That does reveal it, so that DT is going to go down. And it can't even run away. What a sad, sad little Dark Templar.
Well, it's not so dark anymore, right? It's a little bit... Well, I guess it is like... It's not even a dark green. It's like a light green Templar at this point. Did I just hear a loading noise, Kix?
You did indeed. There's actually an Overlord full of Hydralists heading into this this main base here, but the trouble is, there is Corsairs here to defend, but they can't shoot down. Oh, but Cadenzi's not actually dropping out, so this is going to be four dead Hydras.
One, two, three. Actually, three of them do get out, so that's not the worst.
Oh wait, is +2 attack going to get taken down before it can be finished? Tech, his +1 attack was very, very heavily delayed, but then we go another drop over on this fourth base attempt over here in the top right-hand position, and the Forge in the main is getting dangerously low.
Alright, well there are 5 Zealots there, so thankfully the speedy Zealot boys are able to come save that. But maybe throw a cannon or two back in the back, or at least keep your... Actually, where are those Corsairs? I guess all the Corsairs died earlier, right?
There's
or no,
two
there's
more
two,
over by the fourth base,
left.
but one of them just died there. Another one is about to go down, and these Hydralisks, they're the A-team of Hydralisks in this game.
Yeah, they sure are. Wow. Well, either rebuild some Corsairs or figure out a way. Wow, actually killing quite a few Overlords here, and maybe even the Hero Queen goes down.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a big, big force by Cadenzi. I mean, this is a very difficult place to engage, but Tech doing such a good job with those storms, cleaning up all of the Hydras in the middle of the map.
Wait, wow. Okay, yeah, all those Hydras are going to get taken down. There's like 3 bases mining for Tech, and on the other side,
Or Lurker
really,
drop.
I mean, yeah, only slightly more than 3 mining for Cadenzi, and so now at this point, this Lurker drop needs to maybe get in and do something, otherwise it could be rough to deal with. Alright, the little Lurker that could, he's running into the main.
I love how there's no actual probes here to kill,
Yeah.
so...
there's nothing to do here. Alright, the hot pickup.
Oh, this is a good
The high
base to
ground
attack.
drop. Uh-oh. Oh no.
Oh, more and more Hydras going down in the middle of the map.
Yeah, yeah, but nobody cares. Just watch this Lurker. It has the potential to kill 12 probes.
This
More
Lurker...
than that.
Okay, there we go.
Oh no. Oh no. Not like this.
Oh my god.
Oh, the probe-manity.
So much damage going down there. Another Lurker in the middle of the map. Gonna split up some of these Protoss units. Tech is throwing units absolutely everywhere at the moment. But could this be a mistake? Oh, wow, that Storm. Getting a lot of those Zerglings.
Yeah, but these are Cracklings, every Protoss's worst nightmare. Finally, really starting to exert a lot of presence out there on the map. There's no Corsairs, so Overlords are just blanketing everything. There's Hydras everywhere, and very, very few Storms here. I think he's got 2. So he's gonna have to make these count. No! Sniping the High Templar with the Cracklings! Now there's only 1 Storm.
There's only 1 Storm, but there's not actually that many units left here for Cadenzi in the middle of the map. More Cracklings are coming up. This is a huge amount of production in effect by Cadenzi here. The Lurker in the top middle base didn't kill all of the probes, but that's denying mining on one of Tech's crucial bases. And Cracklings are just killing everything.
Wow, they sure are their kicks. Wow, that's what a unit, right? I mean, is this the base unit? I think it is. You know, the Adrenal upgrade for Lings gives them more DPS than Stim gives Marines, and they don't have to pay health, they just get it. It's just always there.
It's pretty cool. It's almost like Zerg know what it's like to be Terran in TVZ when we're watching ZVP, you know? It's almost like tier 1 units. They also have one that's very good, you know? It's a bit weird. I don't know. Don't see it very often, but I mean, in late game CVP, Cracklings, like, when you see them blanket drop like 8 gateways and all of them die in like 10 seconds, it's like, huh,
Yeah.
Zerglings
Basically,
are
like,
pretty good.
Dragoons just like stop existing. Also, what is happening to our replay here, Kicks? All right, we're better. So yeah, lots of cracklings across the map, some decent storms, but they're trying to snipe the High Templar.
All
Save
this
the High Templar,
lurker.
save the High Templar. Yeah, there's a lurker right there, but it's gonna go down before it really gets too much damage off. And
Oh, the
also,
High
those
Templar.
cracklings just kind of evaporate.
Your voice went very British there. It like kind of broke
Did
into
I?
a British accent. Yeah, you're like, evaporate. But
Evaporate?
yeah, but looking, there's
Yes.
there's actually 2 lurkers over here in the 9 o'clock base. They do get burrowed, but the cannon's gonna kill both of them. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Kenenzi is up bases still, and is taking an extra base in this top right position. It's going to be trading places here, as we're going to have cannons and a Nexus coming in just below it.
I mean, I guess that base is probably pretty dead, right? It's making drones, so as long as Tech finds out about this kind of ninja base, then it should be pretty easy to take out. But you know, I guess you actually do have to find out that it's there.
Yeah, and you want to know the funny thing? We've now got Defilers. Now, a lot of Tech's army is Dragoons, and one other thing the Zerg have that's pretty good. It's a little, well, there's 2 spells actually. There's one caster, kind of like the Science Vessel, it has been said. Both the spells, one of them takes all of the health of the Protoss units down to 1. And the other one protects the Zerg units from most of the army that the Protoss has. So we're likely to see some of those coming in soon. All of a sudden those cracklings get twice as good.
Doing a really good job sniping off these High Templar with cracklings, and now finally they're getting onto kind of the meaty center of this Protoss ball, the Dragoons in the middle, but still actually really good army control here. Tech has, his army has survived. He's taking out this kind of ninja base. It's actually one that probably is actually pretty important in the grand scheme of things.
Oh my god.
Some of these bases being mined out.
Tech needs to be careful. There's actually 2 hidden lurkers behind that mineral line at the 3 o'clock base here. And they're going to be stop lurkers as well, most certainly. This is the sneaky play you can get, but look at the amount of Zerglings that are moving across the map. There's so much Zerg!
Is there a storm here? Okay, if
there
is, then you're good. If there's not, then you're a little...
There's one now. Oh, he's got 2 storms. Here we go. But
yeah,
missing all the
storm
cracklings.
the cracklings. Like you stormed the cracklings are the most dangerous part here. Like, oh my goodness, wow. Well, this base disappears. And yeah, that's it. Tech leaves. Damn. Okay. I gotta say honestly, if there's one thing that like really kind of did Tech in there at the end, it was all those High Templar snipes, whether it was Hydras picking them off or cracklings running in, dying but killing the High Templar. There's just like very few storms, and late game you gotta have it. You gotta have the splash damage. So
now, one thing I'm going to do, just because I did miss it before, just slightly, I saw the end of it. I'm just currently speeding through the replay, finding the exact moment that I missed, and we're going to look at just the pure, unadulterated damage that...
It's so stupid. I think so. This is the same thing with nukes. Like, why didn't you just make nukes deal 8 million damage? It's the same thing with infested Terrans. It's like they actually just do 8 million damage. Actually, I think if your opponent has +1 armor upgrade over you, they don't kill zealots. I don't know. Let's find out.
We're gonna find out. We're just jumping back into the game here. Everything is ready now. I bet it's going to turn out there wasn't actually that much damage done by these, but I seem to have this feeling that there was a lot of damage.
Okay, let's watch. Here we go.
I'm going to slow it down, because we don't often get to see this. Look at the amount of zealots there are. And look at how few zealots there are now. those guys, they did a lot of damage to all of those zealots right there. But that's kind of the power. We didn't see the whole amount of power there, unfortunately, because there wasn't like a big engagement. There wasn't any sort of major drops or anything like that. But that's just a taste of what's to come, hopefully later in the STPL when we see some more Zergs on this map. But we're going to be back in just a couple of minutes when we get here for game number 4. Obviously, FBW are leading 2-1 at the moment. but it's going to be TT1 versus Kimchi here to decide whether or not we're going into the ace match. See you guys very soon. Okay guys, welcome back to the STPL. We're here for game number 4 between FBW and DM. Now our first series ended 4-0, but our second series is currently 2-1, with FBW leading after Cadenzi's win over Tech in that last game on Holy World SE. We got to saw Infested Terrans, not for long enough I might add, but we still got to see them, so that's good.
Yeah, and up next we have perhaps the highlight. I didn't check what our key matchup was, Kix, but this might just be...
I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you know, Faust is cool. Everything. He's no TT1. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, TT1, such a sick player. He's actually currently undefeated in the SCPL, 9-0. The only other player who's gone this long undefeated was actually Bai for White Clan, who went something like 12-0 in round 1 and 2. So TT1 on a little bit of a winning streak here. He's not played against too many Zergs. He actually beat Mitak, Jojo, and Galaxy. I think he played against Galaxy twice. I need to fix that so it shows both the matches. But TT1 overall a very, very strong player. One of the strongest in North America. Didn't do too well in the BSL. Actually messed up my BSL fantasy. So thanks TT1. Means a lot. But his opponent fighting for DM is going to be Kimchi. Kimchi, one of DM's newer players for round 4. He did lose against Flymeo in his first match, so not really too much to say about ZVP from him. But ZVP should be quite fun as we get into our 4th ZVP, our second of today, here on New Bloody Ridge. Okay guys, so we're here, we are watching New Bloody Ridge, so we actually saw Jerry take down Bonnet here, White take down Dio, and just recently in the previous matchup we saw DeWalt win his game here against his Zerg opponent. But basically a really cool map, very balanced in terms of historic Pro League stats as well, so cool to see it here in the STPL, relatively standard. I guess the major differences to this compared to a lot of other ones is you do have these things that are known as the bloodstained ridges in Korean, or bloody ridges in English, but relatively easy to defend natural for TT1 here. He's going to be able to wall this off with two buildings and a pylon, so nothing too crazy there, and our Zerg player should be free to take a third gas in multiple locations. We saw our Zerg player earlier take a third base super quickly, but unfortunately didn't have enough to defend it. So hopefully we won't see that here. We saw a little bit of a longer PvZ in game number 3, so could we be seeing that again, Rapid?
Yes.
Cool. Glad to hear it.
Actually, no. I'm going to say a guaranteed no. You know what the average game time has been for our games today, Kix?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna look back to our previous series we've casted. We've been casting together a while. That magic 6 minutes, man. That 6 minutes,
dude.
Mark.
I tell you, man. We either have like an average of like 25 minutes where the games are just super long, or we have an average of like 6 minutes. Something tells me this is gonna be a 6-minute game. I don't know, man. My TT1 just always does the weirdest stuff, but like kimchi. Like, I'm living in Korea. I can't vote against DM.
Yeah, so, wait, why can't you vote against DM because you're living in Korea? I'm kind of confused here.
Because his name's Kimchi.
Oh, okay, yeah, of course. Man, that's twice today. You're the one casting at 4 a.m.
I've been up longer than
I know,
you have.
I know, you're the one casting at like 4 or 5 a.m. and it's like 11 p.m. here, and my brain is more dead than you, so I don't know. Things are getting bad.
You have to do all the hard work behind the scenes, so that definitely makes up for everything.
Well, it's people's support and everyone's happy faces watching the STPL that makes that hard work so easy as we get into game number 4 here on New Bloody Ridge. It's Kimchi versus TT1. Starting us off here in the top right-hand position, we do have the Red Zerg fighting for DM, and as White just said, he is Korean living in the USA. It's Kimchi.
That's right, and his opponent on the opposite side of the map is TT1, the Canadian powerhouse, undefeated in STPL. So yeah, we'll see if he can keep the streak running. Yeah, Kimchi is basically like reverse me. Like
yeah.
Bad at Brood War, good at Brood War, Korean in America, American in Korea. Yeah, there's a lot of
caster, not a caster at all. You know.
Hey, there you go. All right, I'll take what I can get. But yeah, this is gonna be really interesting because TT1 is undefeated. So that means maybe people are going to try to, maybe stop that from happening. And of course, Kimchi trying to tie things up here in game number 4 and bring us to an ace match.
Yeah, now TT1 PvZ even. I've seen a lot of TT1's games outside of the STPL as well, and the matchup from him that always impresses me is his PvZ. So I'm hoping we're getting to see a little bit of that magic here. He hasn't decided whether to go to Gateway first or Forge first as of yet. I imagine we're going to see a Gateway first from him, if I'm going to be completely honest. I mean, Forge is something you can go for, but this probe, it's going to be a Forge. Okay, so I mean, TT1 just going to go Forge, going to be playing a little bit safer. He did scout the spawning pool first with the gas, so I guess this makes sense.
Yeah, now you do have to be ready for all of this, so I'm wanting to see a cannon before Nexus. But hey, at least knowing's half the battle, Kix. Knowledge is power.
Yep.
So we'll see what TT1 decides to do with this, and I'm hoping it comes in the form of a cannon here. And cannon.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
2 cannons.
Whoa!
Now, I'm just
All
saying,
right.
the only other Protoss we saw go 2 cannons right off the bat was DeWalt, and he won his game. So, is TT1, is this the omen? Is he going to get the win off the back of this? I mean, if you're superstitious, it's time to write his name in the book.
This is the opposite of our one cannon Protosses. This is where you just, like, no amount of lings is going to bust through this, theoretically.
Yeah.
You know, there's always that perfect world where they surround the pylon, they take it out, and I'm just like, oh, okay, well, never
Oh,
mind.
yeah, that
Nobody knows
happens.
anything about this game.
Yeah, I mean, speed is on the way first, so there are going to be speedlings, and when
Okay.
you don't have a gateway and you don't have a zealot in the front, all of a sudden 6 speedlings just run past your cannons and kill everything. So,
Well, theoretically, the next building that we build is a gateway, right?
yeah, it should
Yeah,
be.
there we go.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, this game is moving in one direction, and it doesn't look good for the lings moving across the map. There's 2 cannons and a wall, and I mean, we'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
I never want to call anything too early. Like I've got my kind of I'm kind of shaking a little bit. We're getting closer to that 6-minute mark, so things are getting a little bit tense. Like it's kind of like a Final Destination movie where people know they're gonna die in 6 minutes. Well, they don't. Oh, no, that's a completely bad analogy. You know what? I'm just gonna drop this one here.
Okay, all right, sick. I love the conclusion.
Yeah,
10 out of 10.
It's
Would
great.
analogize.
It's almost as good as the
So-
movies. Just saying.
This one little tiny ling is going to scout the front, but won't see the number of cannons until it moves a little bit further forward. But thankfully, you know, we're not going to all in just yet. There are Hydras coming behind this, though, I will say. So, how many are we going to see? Is there a
That's-
third hatchery being built anywhere?
Wait, that's Hydra's off of 2 hatcheries as well. Yeah.
Wait, yeah,
So,
so this is wait, okay, so Kicks. Let's think this through real fast, all right? There's 3 hatch Hydra, right? And there's like a 2 hatch lurker build, but you don't get Hydra speed if you're going 2 hatch lurker. So this is 2 hatch Hydra.
well, technically, I guess you could go for Hydra speed just so you can get your Hydras over to morph into lurkers quicker. But he's not going for
I mean,
lair, so
Yeah, so that's the other thing. It's like, well, you need that gas from Hydra speed to build a layer with it.
good point.
So like we can't have everything here, Kicks. Like, so basically this is a Protoss that is better defended already with 2 cannons. Going up against the Zerg player who's going to have less Hydras slower. I don't need a double build detective hat to figure out which direction this game is going, Kicks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping we see a 3rd hatchery coming in soon. I hope we see Kimchi going for something different. I mean, I guess the one thing you can say about this build that Kimchi's doing is no one does it. How do you mentally
yes.
prepare for this? Like, you don't have those timings in your head because nobody goes 2 hatch Hydra. And TT1 doesn't have any scouting information either. His probe, I don't know if his probe got taken out or if he just didn't. Oh, it did, yeah, but it got taken out
Yeah,
quite
it died
early.
earlier.
He never sent out another one, so. But he's blind building another cannon.
I love it. This is so sick.
It's
every
far back
time-
from the wall, though. This is really
Dude,
far
I
back from
don't
the
care.
wall.
I don't care, Kicks, man. We just need all the cannons we can get. All right. So eventually, our 4 zealot hit squad out here, our expeditionary. This is Lewis, Clark, Sacagawea, and like
Things
I don't know,
run away.
somebody else. Oh,
Well,
dude, you can wall this tiny choke with zealots.
With Lings? Oh my god, these
Okay.
4 zealots are gonna go down.
Wait, what? Okay, TT1. Step 1 to throwing this game is losing all your zealots for free.
Okay, there's another 2 cannons, but this forge is gonna go down and the gateway's gonna go down. There's no other gateway. That's it. If this gateway goes down, that's it for units for TT1 minus Corsairs. And without +1, he loses the option of going for those +1 timing attacks. Wait, is Kimchi just gonna
Wait.
get enough Hydras? Is this
Wait,
where it
wait,
ends? It's 6 minutes! This is it!
Wait, what?
Kimchi's done it,
Wait.
I think. 6
This is
minutes,
2
man!
hatch Hydra kicks. 2. That's the number after 1. How? How do you? He saw the Hydras coming. He spammed the cannons.
He didn't spam them fast enough, and his forge goes down because it's too far behind the cannons. That's it! 6 minutes strikes again!
Well, we hit 1 second over 7 minutes, but close enough, right? I'll give us credit for that one. Damn.
Ooh.
Okay, I mean, I guess he had 2 cannons just built from minute 1.
He had 3 cannons
Okay.
as well, built from minute 2, but they were just not in the right place. And I think the biggest deciding factor of that was TT1 had to send all 4 of the zealots. He needed the scouting information. But then by sending them, and that one little wraparound that Kimchi did with his Zerglings to stop the zealots getting back out that choke point, I think really decided that game. If the zealots can deny a little bit longer the Hydras from getting through that choke point, all of a sudden his 5 extra cannons are finished and Kimchi just dies. That was a split-second decision there by Kimchi that won him that game, and that takes him to the ace match.
Yeah, I want to say also the opposite could have happened. The zealots could have blocked the choke, traded well against some of those lings, and then just run away, blocked it enough to buy time for the rest of the cannons. There's a world in which that definitely turns around, and I thought that's the one we were going to live in, Kix, but this is one of those divergences where we go from this reality into one of the splinter realities that we're not supposed to be in, but somehow we're here. And we're going into an ace match between DM and FBW, so who knows what's going to happen next.
Well, I'm going to announce, I'm not going to announce who the players are, because I don't know, but I do know the races, just because I saw them on the thing. So we're going to go to a quick minute break or so while we load up the replay, and we're going to get into game number 5 when we get back after this. Okay guys, welcome back to the STPL. We're here for the ace match between FBW and DM. I did say before it was a ZBZ, the overlay said it was a PVZ for whatever reason. I need to figure that one out because that don't make any sense. But it's going to be cool to see this game. Nevertheless, it should be a lot of fun to get through and go and do as well. So, just to introduce our players, I'm not going to go through their stats because we've seen both of them today already. It's going to be Kimchi for DM, the player who took them to the ace match, so he's going to carry on his legacy here. And he's also going to be fighting against the last person to win for FBW. It's going to be Kenenzi.
Wow, so once we put in the undefeated TT1 to try to take out Kimchi the God, and it was too much. Couldn't handle it. So now we got to bring out the big guns to try to bring it home here for FBW. Obviously, Kimchi having a very strong game there with a 2-hatch Hydra build. I didn't think it was going to work. Turns out you're that good. Really sick move there to take game number 4 and bring it to the ace match. So hey, he brought us here. We'll see if Kimchi can bring it home for DM.
Yeah, let's have a quick look at the ace map for today, and then we'll get into the game. See you guys in just a sec. Find the right button. There we go. Nope. There we go. In terms of sort of what's going on with this map, the map doesn't matter too much because it is a ZBZ. I can actually announce to you that the players are going to be spawning in vertical positions, so that is the one major thing.
I dare ya.
Huge thank you, Agnion, for the $3 donation, man. I really do appreciate your milk bunny. I also need to buy milk, so that actually does help me a lot. But just to announce the sort of player locations, we're going to have Kimchi up in the top right, Cadenzi in the bottom left. Now, that's a good thing. This is a symmetric map based on the center, so it's horizontally symmetrical. So it means the mineral lines of both naturals are going to be completely vulnerable to both players. So there's going to be no positional imbalances or anything like that. The ground rush distance for vertical spawns on this map isn't that high, so it's possible that we'll see this game end very quickly. It is a ZBZ as well. The only ZBZ we saw on here so far, Tai2 took down Care Bear when Soul played against Rev, so without further ado, let's get into this ace match. It's going to be on Eye of the Storm. It's Cadenzi versus Kimchi. Okay, spawning us over here in the top right-hand position, we do have the Teal Zerg fighting for DM. It's Kimchi.
That's right. Sorry, there we go. That's right. And on the other side of the map, in the red, playing from Korea for the time being, this is the Red Zerg player Cadenzi. And I don't know. I don't know what to expect, Kix. We've had that magical 6-minute mark. Can we get past it? I don't know. This is I like what you were pointing out. This is a mirrored match. It's not like rotationally symmetric. So the idea is that usually in a ZBZ, when you scout incorrectly, like you were talking about, you get a big advantage if you get overlorded, right?
Yeah.
But because this is mirrored, then both players' naturals are close to each other. So especially when it comes to mutas, it actually matters quite a bit. And neither player will be overlorded this time. They're both scouting in the correct direction.
Yeah, both are going to meet their overlords in the middle. We're going to see the overlords kiss. I remember that was like an old meme thing that Tasteless and Artosis would go on about. That's not been brought up for a long time, but here you go, me with my pointless old memory. of really, really pointless things. Yeah, I don't remember important things like my national insurance number, but that's fine. We've got a spawning pool coming in here after an Overlord for Kimchi. Looks like we're going to have a similar build here for Cadenzi as well. So not only are we on a mirrored map, in a mirror matchup, we've got mirror builds as well.
Mirrored builds, mirrored matchups, mirrored maps. It's like I can see my own reflection in here. But when will my reflection show who I am inside, Kicks?
At 6 minutes.
Or when my magical Mushu dragon shows up. One or the other. Let's find out.
Their APMs are really similar as well.
Okay, stop it, Kicks.
That was Cadenzi.
We've gone too far.
Yeah, we're going too far into the mirror world. We need to back out. Otherwise things could get a little bit hairy.
As soon as you said that, I just saw the latte emote, and I'm just like, okay, well, not like that. Anyway, what's happening here? Everything's exactly the same.
Yeah.
I can't decide.
You know what? We may as well look at one person's base and just decide what's going on in the other one. But these two overlords are going to kiss in the middle, so wow, that's their passionate kiss there for the game.
No, that's not what it sounds like, Kicks. You know, like you click on Overlord, you hear those Overlord sounds. There's only one. Anyway, let's just think about that one for a cool minute.
Okay, the layers. Cadenzi's layer is slightly faster, ever so slightly. Now, one thing that Cadenzi was telling me after she went to Korea and she got lots of help from pro gamers and stuff trading and taking part in those Korean events is one of the things Koreans said most foreign players have is their builds aren't efficient or they're missing certain timings that they need to hit. And Cadenzi's definitely got a lot better at that now, and that's how you can see that despite going for mirrored builds, Cadenzi, her lair finishes like a second ahead of Kimchi's, and you may not think it's a lot, but this is a completely mirrored game, so all of a sudden having your spire a little bit quicker can suddenly change everything. It's like a little bit extra time building, a little bit of extra time for your lava to spawn again, and all of a sudden you just suddenly have more stuff.
Yeah, that all of a sudden can definitely. I think this matchup more than almost any other. That definitely matters more. How suddenly that happens. Anyway, that was kind of a generic thing to say, but suffice it to say, what else am I going to talk about, right? Like the biggest difference that you can see is lings versus drones. So I think this means more drones less drones for Kimchi. Wait a second, let's find out. So big round of drones just now finishing, and we've got 7 in the main and 3 at the natural. Oh, cancel on the second gas geyser to build a sunken.
Yeah.
Sick.
Makes sense. So one thing to point out, Kimchi is actually on 2 on gas at the moment, so that is a little bit of a problem for him, but Kimchi did pull out to build more lings, so this makes a little bit more sense. The sunken colony isn't finished yet. Cadenzi needs to be careful. Kimchi is in a good position here. This is a lot of lings.
Yeah, and I think it's going to hit before the sunken finishes, or right as the sunken finishes. Got to focus that down. Drones coming through, but actually not being very helpful. The sunken is focused, but that did take a lot of time for the lings. The lings running through, and I think this might just be too much. The cancel on the gas geyser to make the sunken just seconds too slow.
Yeah, the first mutas have actually popped out here for Cadenzi, but Cadenzi's taken so much damage already, and mutas take a long time to kill lings. Like, these lings are going to be alive for a very long time. Nice drone trail on top of those lings, actually only losing 1 drone so far to that. 2 drones, actually.
I think it was 3 at the end. 2 of the drone splatters overlapped. Maybe it was just 2. If it was just 2, fantastic, but you got to keep in mind on the other side there are going to be mutas here. They're going to be a little bit slower, obviously less scary, but they're there, and that means that I think Kimchi does have the higher drone count. Actually, let's just he did cut drones earlier, so he's still at 7 in the main with 3 on gas.
I would actually put Cadenzi at a bit of an advantage here. Cadenzi had more drones to begin with, still has more drones now, and her mutas are a little bit quicker.
Down by 1.
Okay, down by 1, but...
Yeah, so 5, 6 drones mining minerals, with 3
1
in
in the
gas
natural
versus
as
7
well.
in minerals and 3 in gas.
Is that...
Oh no! The snipe on the one drone! Masterful! Wow,
Oh,
okay, so now
really
they have
good.
exactly the same number of drones.
Yeah. Okay, so we've kind of normalized. I mean, Kimchi did use a lot
Well,
of lava to deal with all of, or to build all of those lings. So all of these Scourge chasing down the Mutilus here from Kimchi. Cadenzi going in for the killing blow here if she can. And that's a good Scourge connection on the first. Muta gonna take it down to 5 versus... Wow, only 3 Mutas here. This is a little bit of a mistake. Yeah,
yeah,
this
but it's
could
still
be
a much
big
better fight
mistake.
for Kimchi to take, I believe.
Yeah,
I think
definitely
you
is.
just fight this. 5 on 3, yeah, for sure. That the snipes on the Scourge, really, really well done. He actually has a couple of mutas that he hasn't put into his muta control group. But I don't know about chasing across the map. Reinforcement distance is a real thing in muta versus muta. So I think you turn around, regroup, and then head into the natural, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a little bit unfortunate.
Or I mean, obviously.
Cadenzi losing a muta there to reinforce the other ones, but she does save 2 of her mutas for now. But what's Cadenzi going to do? She's down 10 supply at this point. The muteless count getting a little bit out of control here for Kimchi. And Cadenzi is now on the ropes.
I mean, I think chasing the mutas, obviously, that makes a lot of sense, because a muta killed is, a muta killed.
Oh, that's a nice Scourge.
Yeah, really nice Scourge connections there. The Scourge kind of derped out a little bit, and Kimchi was able to focus fire them down, which really turned the tide in that early fight. So let's see how well this initial... Oh, he's going to hit the Scourge! Okay, that Scourge somehow did not connect to anything, but great control there. Kimchi's micro against the Scourge is really putting him in a gigantic lead, and now he's going to kill 3 drones for free. I think almost that just by itself might do it.
Yeah, I mean, Cadenzi trying to counterattack here with 3 lings, having to pull back, knowing that there's lings going to her mineral line, but it's 1 muteless against something like 6 or 7. Ooh. Oh, this is just getting out of hand here for Kimchi. Kimchi doing so well, and GG! Kimchi takes down Cadenzi, and DM get the win.
Wow. The muta control, 10 out of 10. Scourge, not even Scourge control. Scourge control is not bad. They just stopped.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do? Like, they just ran out of gas. This is what happens when you don't feed your Scourge. They get tired. They don't. Anyway, memes aside, Scourge are the dumbest unit. Like, you could say Scarabs, you could say Dragoon. No. It's 100% Scourge.
Yeah.
So that sucks. And it kind of felt bad because after taking some damage from that early Link Blood, you gotta like try to maybe overbuild Scourge to try to come back, and then they just don't do anything. You're like, well, like, there's only so much you can do, right?
Yeah, I mean, just to quickly go through the results, one thing I will say about that game, or about Brood War in general, can you imagine, like, it's like Reavers, right? Could you imagine if Scourge weren't dumb? They would just be, like, there would be no reason to build any air unit ever, because Scourge would just kill everything. It'd just be too bad. But, you know what? To go through the results, Faust took down Vulture in Game 1 with a really slick 2-base Lurker play into a 3rd baser. That was really cool. White took down Hiramu on Neo Medusa. Cadenzi took down Tech on Holy World SE. We actually got we got to see an Infested Terran. So if you didn't miss that game, go check out the VODs after the series. They're going to be on Twitch and YouTube as well. And then Kimchi with the double sweep there at the end, taking down TT1 on New Bloody Ridge, ruining his unbeaten record. And then taking down Cadenzi on Eye of the Storm, getting revenge for Tech as well. Kimchi looks to be a great pickup here for DM.
Yeah, absolutely. Killing it. Really well done. DM, solid win. And I think they definitely needed it to kind of solidify their place in the middle of the pack for round 4. So, yeah, congratulations to DM. And then before that, we had IRK with a clean sweep over Red. So.
Yeah.
Both teams winning today. And a big thanks, of course, also to everybody who donated, subbed, whatever, just tuning into the stream.
Yeah.
Always very nice to have all of you here. Big fan.
Also, just quickly, a huge thanks to me, or from me even, to the people...
Huge thanks to Kick.
Yeah, no, a huge thank you to the people who actually clipped stuff today. One of the things I've always said, and one of the things I always do when watching other tournaments as well, is if I see something cool, I clip it, because If I don't clip it, no one else is going to. And you know what it does? It makes my life so much easier when trying to find really cool moments from games to like highlight and things, because I suddenly know the best moments. So if you want to help the STPL out and you watch the stream all the time, just clip more bits. It will help me a lot, and it helps spread the word of Brood War as well. So don't only do it on my channel, do it on other people's channels as well. Share it on Reddit, Twitter, wherever you want to share it. Team Liquid, it doesn't matter. It all helps the community in general. So huge thank you to you guys as well. And that's going to be it for today, guys. We didn't quite go to the 6-hour stream we had last Friday, but I'm sure Rapid is a little bit more thankful for that. But we did nearly reach 4 hours, and that's with like 4 6-minute like 7 6-minute games maybe.
Yeah, it was about 3 hours and 20 minutes. But regardless, it's been good. Really good games.
Yeah.
And yeah, just had a lot of fun. So thank you as always, Kix, for organizing and producing everything. Couldn't do it without you.
Not a problem, and huge thank you, of course, to you, Rapid, for casting with me at a crazy time in the morning. You make the STPL a lot better by your inclusion here, so I'm very happy you come along all the time. You always put so much effort into it as well, so huge thank you, and we will see you guys next time.